The video is based on my sketchbook. It's more of an art view rather than social life. Some of my friends asked me to show my sketchbook, so here I decided to show it through a video where art students can benefit from this video, because when I started my sketchbook, when I started my art A-level course, I found it very hard to start a sketchbook. I originally have 5 sketchbooks, which you will see in the next minutes. So as an art student, it is important to get sketchbooks. It's important that in a sketchbook you include everything, anything that comes to your mind, it needs to be sketched. That's what I try to do in my 2-year course, art course in college, and it actually helped me a lot, even if not at that time, but when I got to it after some time, it helped me develop more my ideas and helped me get to conclusions. So here I got my sketchbook, which is very small, my hand size. I have just started it in summer. It's nothing yet, just some pages here and there, but very sketchy. But we will get to this one. This is the A-level sketchbook, and I had to include it for my A-level art exam, and which the result of it with the other coursework, I got a B, which I think it's a good mark. First sketch is a still life. It was my first study from observation in art lectures, and then we had to develop these observations, more observations, into an imaginary subject. Lecturers used to guide us with other artists, which were, for example, in this case is Giorgio de Chirico. He used sculpture in a bizarre way, and we tried to conclude stuff. But here basically you record your main process throughout your work. Whatever comes to your mind, you just included anything, even scribbles, even just I don't know, lines here and there. I also had an interest in photojournalism and freelancing, so I included my photos, so most of them when I went to Turkey. This is a detailed sketch of a cloth on the previous bench, and here are small thumbnails which lead me to the final piece, and in this case it was based on architecture. These are live sketches from observation, and this was a door, but it actually became an abstract thing. So I also included some lyrics which I like, which inspired me to move further on. Here are some more observations and experimentations. For example, this is the first try. It wasn't that successful, but this is the second try, which was one of my favorite activists and singers, Ahmed Kaya. And then I tried to look at the masters of Renaissance. These are just sketches from observation, thumbnails again for another artwork and development with experimentation, collages. Then another modern artist helped me a lot in second year, since I use a lot of use masses of paint, and Lucien Freud, he used a similar technique, and so I referred to him. Then I switched to Sadegh Tiraf Khan, which was also an activist through art. He was a photojournalist. He included text, Arabic text, Persian text with his photographs. This is Bolan Kilic. He's a photojournalist. I included him because he used interesting compositions, for example the triangular form, and here usually the focus, for instance, is this person, but here it is this person, this soldier, and it's a and there is some kind of perspective for the experimentation. This is my classmate. We used to look at each other's work so that we can get inspired from them. And here I got inspired from Sergio. Here I had to make an artwork from scratch of a human figure. And I found it really difficult since I never did studies of the human figure lying on a bed. So instead I picked up my mother and my sister and I drew detailed sketches of them. I also noticed that I had difficulties with the legs, so I did further studies of my grandma's feet and my sister's feet. Actually, I was really enjoying it, so I thought maybe I should also try my grandma's hands. And here are the detailed sketches of my sister and my mother. And here I tried to experiment with organic shapes. Studies for pillows. I was really interested in pillows and their structure and how they maintain their shape, so I decided to draw some pillows. I really like text, especially Arabic text, so it was constant throughout my sketchbook and my projects also. This is a cloth, kind of. It's more like a mesh. These were the studies of my first year, which show a huge difference between the first year and the second year. I included them to show the differences between the first year and the second year, meaning showing the examiner my process. In this project we had to pick up a song which we really like and which inspires us, and this one was in my first year. My first project was People Help the People. It was a song. I picked up its lyrics and I tried to illustrate a story throughout. And here were some of my thumbnails. Maybe in another video I can show the result of it. These were just scribbles here and there because I had nothing in mind when I was doing my an exam project. This is also a study of my sister's hair, and also I originally want to be a fashion designer, so in my first year I included a lot of sketches of garments, detailed garments with stitches, so on and so forth. I wanted to include them since variety is very important in a sketchbook. This and this continues. This is linked to this project, which was my first year project. In this project I wanted to include also Islamic art, so I tried to create some of the geometrical shapes. Here I used my aunt's name, which is Hasna. I actually created a print, and then I tried to play with the geometrical shapes and the calligraphy. This is a start of a mind map. My mind was empty as usual, so I tried to scribble here and there. And this is a photo I had captured while I was abroad in Istanbul. Another life study. Here was I was walking with my friend, so we decided to record our journey. Also, in a sketchbook it is important to include some failed attempts, For example, here I wanted to make a monoprint, but it didn't end up good. So instead of throwing it away, I just stuck it as a background for this one. This was also another experimentation. I tried to sketch the Freeport with oil pastels and chalk. This is also a failed attempt of marbling because the colors binded too much. But it also reflected on another artist, which is David Hockney. He didn't use actually organic stuff, he used digital prints here. Managed to combine the Persian designs on two views which I found in Istanbul. These are not actually real. When you find this tower in Istanbul, you don't see this. This is just invented. But I saw them interesting since there is a pillar here, and then these two pillars, they balance the composition, I guess. And I like designs, so yes, they just managed to bind. And this also ended up in a print. Maybe I can show it further onwards. Recently I was interested in this cartoon, so I just printed its characters, which is Finding Dora. This wasn't included in the exam was still here, but I wanted to add more. And this is my sketchbook for now. I hope this video was useful to you, and I hope it will serve for future students to benefit from this, how it all started from an observation to the final piece, which here didn't really show the final pieces, but showed the thumbnails of the final sketches, of the final pieces. If you have any further questions, or you want to see more artworks or any art tutorials, just go ahead and list them in the links below. I will try to do some art tutorials for you to benefit and see how the process goes. And very soon there will be another video showing a wall mural, which is based on Barbie characters. It was for a girl. Until next time, subscribe and thumbs up.